Not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times, a full-fledged man dressed in objectionable ways and humiliated himself in front of millions.
But there is also this influence, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience. So, first of all, there is this system that is set up. And in addition to those things, as if that were not enough, there is actually the devil. There is actually evil spiritual forces. There is actually a demonic world, a demonic realm. And we can get in trouble in 2 ways here. There's a ditch on both sides of the road. We can overestimate the influence of the devil, or we can underestimate the influence of the devil.
Indeed, demonic forces are operating in Hollywood, but many people, including some Christians, still don't acknowledge it.
Cat Williams discusses the ritual of putting on the dress on Joe Rogan. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. Check this out.
So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information. I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things will become popular in the future.
Demonic things are happening in Hollywood, and many Christians are either unaware of it or they don't care. Here, John Cena dressed like a teenage girl at the Jimmy Fallon show.
I had a little bit of a growth spurt.
My mom says I'm going through some changes.
What's more, you can see him again dressed like a woman while promoting a movie.
Come in my sock again.
Woodwhacking.
Then, not long after that, he proved to the whole world how dark and demonic Hollywood is by showing up naked at the Oscars. Many of you are probably familiar with humiliation rituals where celebrities do stupid things as part of demonic rituals they are required to engage in exchange for fame and wealth. So, when you see John Cena naked, you should not be surprised that he has chosen to sell his soul to the devil. No human being in their right mind would allow themselves to be humiliated in front of millions. The god of this world, Satan, has blinded their minds.
All of these acts that look to me to be humiliation rituals, right? As just one example, here's a photo of a Kid Cudi at the CFDA Awards. Now, this is an older photo, but I'm just showing it to you. It's from 2021, just to illustrate my point, which is that when they're trying to send down a narrative, they try to make it popular by having artists engage in, again, what I would term to be humiliation rituals.
So we have this world, this system that is teaching us what to believe and what to think, what is right and what is wrong, what is true and what is false. And then we have the spiritual reality of the devil himself, this spiritual reality of demonic forces, this spiritual reality that is influencing us and that is actively working against us, that is actively working to keep us blind, actively working to keep us satisfied with the world and not aware of or desiring anything other than that.
Here is another man humiliating himself by wearing a dress and spinning around. As we said earlier, the devil is using Hollywood to normalize abominable sinful behaviors, and Christians must speak up against the flagrant promotion and celebration of evil. In this dated video, Steve Harvey says he will be willing to do anything, including sacrificing his integrity and embarrassing himself and black people for $4 million.
$10 million. For $4 million, I'll be all the can stand. Black people will be so embarrassed by my performance, you'll be sitting up there just going, look at this big lip. You ain't got to act like that much of a... Be picking taking shit off me looking at it. Be walking around that I be digging in my 10 million kiss my swing in on the vine to work.
Like Steve Harvey, these celebrities sacrifice their integrity for money. It's not worth selling one's soul to the devil for fame and riches. And here is another male rapper performing while wearing a woman's dress. We share all these to show you who is controlling Hollywood and why Christians should be on high alert because our adversary, Satan, is going about looking for souls to destroy. Sadly, this form of ungodly behavior is not limited to secular artists. Please look closely at Kirk Franklin wearing lipstick in his famous song, Smile. Men don't wear lipstick. How about full-grown, supposedly Christian artists carrying Kirk Franklin? It is strange and awkward. There's nothing Christian about this type of bizarre behavior. Again, you see him wearing a skirt during a performance and twerking.
This is why Lecrae wears skirts. This is why he's in a skirt. This is why he's prancing around, you know, just like the rest of the rappers. This is why Kirk Franklin wears lipstick. This is why they do this. This is why, man, it's so crazy, but these dudes are so fraudulent and it's so hard to see. And it's really sad, but these are the people that so many brothers is deceived by.
In this video, Lecrae admitted to attending Diddy's parties.
I've been to a couple Diddy parties.
And who is usually invited to Diddy's parties?
You can't make it to the real party because somewhere, if you're not a homosexual, they got a filtering out process.
Yeah.
So they'll send a stylist, they'll have you out and about because they trying to drug you. So you be in a studio session late at night and they'll see if you a meatball, yo bro, here, hit this blunt.
So these secular folks are telling us what really goes down in these demonic parties. Let Lecrae explain.
I wasn't even going to say nothing about this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've been to a couple Diddy parties. Now, I'm risking a lot by saying this. I've been to lots of parties. I've been to Jamie Foxx. I've been with Snoop, T.I. I've been to lots of places.
One can't help but wonder why a quote-unquote Christian artist attends these parties late at night.
I, in my personal experience, never saw anything where someone was like, you can't move any further unless you do X, Y, or Z. But what I did see was, if you do X, Y, or Z, well, keep coming. It was never a situation where I felt forced to sit. It was a situations where I was asked, do you stand? Do you stand? And I'm like, I don't stand. Oh, okay, cool. And then I was left alone. What I will say is that one particular party, lots of big names, there was an artist there who said, hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here. And I was like, what? You just don't want to be here at 1 in the morning. And I was like, now my pride kicked in like, yo, you don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can handle myself. Like, I'm not some little church boy who ain't never seen nothing. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? Well, it's probably 12:30. I'm downstairs. I go downstairs to the studio. I come up out the studio and I'm headed back upstairs to like the main area where everyone's kind of congregating and hanging out. And the music changed. It was like really hard and heavy at first. And then, you know, like jam and dancing music. And it was a little softer. You know, it was a little more sensual when I came out the studio and started going upstairs. And on my way upstairs, there's like this couch. I won't say how the couch is designed because then that may give away whose party and whose house this was. There was a couch, and on the couch, I saw a couple of guys really going at it, hard and heavy. And man, and I was like, oh, you know, my brain, I'm thinking, well, you know, the celebrity party, people do what they do.
Celebrity parties and people do what they do, such as men engaging in sensual relationships with other men, and folks like TD Jakes also attend these parties. Unbelievable.
One of the things that really happens and seldom talk about is that there's something called grooming. And it happens in the Pentecostal church, it happens in many churches, but referring to the black church specifically. And what that means is that there'll be a bishop, a pastor, apostle, someone who has big conferences. Everybody knows, oh my God, they're the holy man of God. And they will pick their victims and they groom them. And it first goes through stage one where they ask questions. What are you into? What do you like? And then from there it goes into stage two. And stage two is where it begins to become sexual. And it first starts by either making facetious jokes, making little statements, innuendos. What do you like sexually? You need to tell me this because I need to know, because I need to be able to pray for you. You also have in their head of their dumb, misinformed followers who are pushing this predatory narrative because they're so in awe with either trying to be like them, either worshiping them, or not worshiping God, or worshiping their denomination or where they come from. And so they're not even there seeing with the eyes of truth, but they're there seeing out of carnality. And so they're sitting up there and they're protecting them. And the leader, the bishop, the pastor, they know this. And so they know and they feel invisible. Oh, I can get away with this. I just have to make a statement to my church. I just have to tell them, and they're never going to question. And then it goes into the third stage. And the third stage is where they try to become intimate with you. And if you do not allow this, they drop you. They treat you like you're nothing. And they abandon that young male or that young woman. But from my experience, I can only speak from a young male point of view. They abandon that young male and they treat them like they're nothing.
This world is so dark, and Christians must exercise discernment. Otherwise, they will be led astray by these so-called celebrities, including Christian ones.
As I started moving upstairs, I passed them up and I noticed that it wasn't just those two guys. It was more and more people just going at it. I was like, okay, it's time for me to roll. I'm going to grab my stuff and I'm going to get up out of here. I did not know that's how this went down. So was that shocking? Absolutely. Was I forced or coerced into anything? I was not. But why they felt that comfortable, I don't know. Maybe the invite list, they was like, yeah, all these people. I don't know. I'm shocked that it went down. But I've been to another situation, another person's party, celebrity party, and you know, a celebrity tapped me on my shoulder, and I was hanging out with them, and they was like, yo, nephew, you might want to go into the other party because this cabana, we about to close it up. And they closed up the cabana, and there was about 3 or 4 big name artists in there. And a whole bunch of ladies start walking in that cabana, and a security guard stood in front of the door. Hey, they didn't coerce me.
The line between good and evil has been blurred. Why Christians still follow Hollywood celebrities who are known to promote everything the Bible condemns is extremely disturbing. The Holy Scripture warns us in Ephesians 6 verse 12 that we do not fight against flesh and blood. Satan uses Hollywood to promote demonic practices, and when Christians pay to support these celebrities, their filthy lifestyles, and content, they are encouraged to produce more content. How can it be okay for followers of Jesus Christ to expose themselves to these things and think they will not negatively affect them spiritually? God is not pleased when Christians expose themselves to ungodly things, all in the name of entertainment. This may explain why our society is deteriorating and why Christianity is losing its influence on society. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. Psalm 1, verse 1. We grieve the Holy Spirit when we willfully partake in other people's sins. What is God asking Christians who enjoy filthy content produced by Hollywood? Come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. 2 Corinthians 6, verse 17. Please help us spread biblical truth. Subscribe, like, and share. God bless you.